distinguished participants, Assalamu alaikum. I think for BMCCI, today is another milestone that we are going to set. This is for the first time that we are arranging such, what shall I say, workshop, talk show, I don't know. So, welcome to this workshop, so to say. Mr. Gopalan is here already, he is from Malaysia. I'll introduce him later on. I'll request our President, Honorable President, to give only 5 minutes welcome speech. Mr. President.
If less, no problem.
It's less.
Appreciate it. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Secretary General given me the time only 5 minutes. I think I will try to make it less than that. Well, I welcome everybody here. We have today many distinguished persons also. Our former presidents are here. And our members are here, some board of directors and many other successful businessmen. I do not know whether they are successful entrepreneurs. Particularly today's workshop, how to be a successful entrepreneur, for me is very important. Because I am a bad entrepreneur, but a good businessman. That is the difference with me. It is essential.
Can you explain?
Yes. It is very much essential that to do business, you must have a goal to be a successful person in the business. And during our time when we entered in the business, at that time, no such motivational activities, motivational lectures you could find. Nowadays, here and there, many professional people are giving these speeches and giving the lectures on the professionalism. In Bangladesh, maximum businessmen have no professionalism. We, by fault, became businessmen. No other job, government, would not join a government job, and so maybe many of us entered in the business. And the business started from our own, and it is coming as a long way we are going on, but without any professionalism in our activities. However, today, great opportunity. We have with us a very successful person, and also he's a very successful consultant in the motivational entrepreneurship development in Malaysia and many other countries. He is from Malaysia, Mr. Gopalan, and he is with us today. And his speech is for me and for you people may be very important. And we want to hear from him, no more from my side. If it is today, if you think today, whenever after finishing this, I believe you will go with some knowledge and experience when you go outside. And it will be for me also. I hope in the next, if it is successful today, every alternate month I can assure you, we shall make some workshop, training programs for our members and also for our future business people. So, and Bangladesh Malaysia Chamber of Commerce and Industries are doing, involved in promotional activities of trade and commerce between two countries, Bangladesh and Malaysia. And we are the only organization, I must say, among the 30 joint chambers. Every year we are making some exhibitions and promotional activities here and also in Malaysia. Every year we are making Showcase Bangladesh and Showcase Malaysia. And this year, this year we had the program to showcase Bangladesh to be in Malaysia, but unfortunately due to election, we are making it in next February 25, 26 and 27, Showcase Bangladesh in Kuala Lumpur. I am inviting everybody of you also try to join with us. And there also many motivational activities, motivational workshop will be there. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So now let me introduce Mr. Gopalan. He is Mr. Gopalan Kannan. He is the founder and executive chairman of Top Performers Learning and Consulting, SDN, BHD, a Malaysian training and consulting firm. He is a chartered accountant, worked in Deloitte, right? Deloitte, one of the big 4 consulting firms in the world. He holds a master's in human resource development from George Washington University, USA. He has a total of 46 years of working experience, of which 30 years was at senior management level at various organizations, and the last 26 years as consultant. Gopalan is not only a regular speaker at seminars and conferences in Malaysia, but around the world. He is very passionate about organizational learning and was closely involved with Peter Senge of MIT, USA, on how to create learning organizations that learn and grow. Gopalan is the designer, inventor of the Inner Side of the Effective People, ISEP, series of programs which were carried out in almost all the banks in Malaysia. Since 1994, his focus has been in creating learning organizations. He has also developed the performance improvement lab, an implementation process that puts into practice all the tools and methodologies of organizational learning. It is designed to suit the Malaysian business environment. This performance improvement intervention has been successfully applied and implemented in a subsidiary of Tenaga Nasional BSD, a subsidiary of Maybank, Telecom Malaysia, and Petronas Gas Berhad. Gopalan is involved in creating young entrepreneurs in Malaysia and worldwide. His main aim is to help individuals and organizations unlock their potential and make the leap to the high performance frontier. So this is a very interactive, this is the introduction of Mr. Gopalan. It's a very interactive session. I hope that you will be interacting with him to get some knowledge from his experience. Thank you, Mr. Gopalan.
Thank you very much. President Syed Mazam Hussain, President, Shabir Ahmad Khan, On Secretary General, past presidents, I'm sure many of you are here. I'm unable to say all your names. Members of the Board of Directors, BMCCI, members and guests. Welcome to this program. I would like to make this program very interactive. Very interactive. I do not claim to be the master of everything, no. I know many of you here are entrepreneurs, very successful entrepreneurs. But let us share and see what you can do better. That is my aim. I'm not here saying that I know everything. If anybody says, I know everything, surely you don't know anything. All right? Okay, let's start moving. Oh, yeah. Hello, can you hear me? All right. Yes, I like to walk around. Sure. I do not like to stand there and give a speech. Now, I think some of you asked, what's the difference between an entrepreneur and a business person? Now, the first slide will be that actually. First, what happened? It's not moving. What do you mean by the word entrepreneur? Actually, if you look at the dictionary meaning, it says a person who sets up a business and taking financial risk in the hope of making profit. That means, sets up a business. That means an entrepreneur is a businessman. And a businessman may not be an entrepreneur. You are right. All right. Now, I'm sorry, something is going on, but never mind. This is the meaning. This is the meaning from the dictionary. A person who sets up a business. What kind of person who sets up a business? Tell me. What kind of person is that? A person who is initiative, who want to take risk. And it does not mean all the people who go into business succeed. Am I right? Do you know that more than 70% of the people who go into business fail? Why? Yes. First 3 years. Within the first 3 years, this is the research done by Howard University, says that within 3 years, 70% of the business will go bust. Then, as you go on another 6-7 years, maybe 10% at the end. Why? Why? Okay. I'm going to talk through my experience. I am actually 71 years young. 71 years young.
Very, very young.
Very, very young. Yes. Now, I've got 2 daughters. One is a doctor, another is a HR director, and I've got a grandson. And I'm still very active, very, very active. And I can still stand here and talk for 3 days, no problem.
You look like only
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, okay. Thank you. And I worked one more. Oh, one is enough. Maybe 2. Okay. I actually worked with Deloitte. Deloitte is one of the top consulting firms in the world, and I've seen hundreds and hundreds of companies, balance sheet, profit loss account, and I've consulted on so many companies, their problems, and then how to turn around. I've done all that, and from my experience, I found that most of the business people do not have the full knowledge of the value chain of the business requirement. That's my view. You can dispute, doesn't matter, but I'm going to tell you, first, number 1, the business success value system means a business need to be success means it has to have a number of components which business people must know. But unfortunately, from my experience, I found that probably maybe less in your country. In my country also, maybe 5 to 10% only really knows. The rest don't know. First, number 1, all business people must know how to read the profit and loss account. They must know how to read the balance sheet. Number 3, they must know what is cash flow, how to manage cash flow. Number 3, how to leverage your funds with the bank so that you can maximize your profit. And finally, now you need to have a budget, you need to have a plan. And when you execute, there's a variance monthly. Are you taking the actions? If you are, great. But if you are not, please remember, every one of the business people must know finance. If you don't know, but see, I'm telling you, in Bangladesh, competition is going to start. When the competition starts, then problem comes. When you must be ready when the problem comes. A lot of you may be very successful because there's no competition. And you so happen, you went into a business which there are not many competitors, and at the same time you are lucky in that. But you cannot be lucky forever. Things are changing. Your rate of growth is 7-point-something%. And I look at this country is roughly about 20 years behind Malaysia. That's roughly maybe. Maybe more than that. So we also know what happened 20 years in our time when we were here, because many people didn't take into opportunities. They didn't look at the opportunities. Number two, you also must know SWOT analysis, at least to some extent. What is SWOT analysis? Strength.
Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat.
Yes. Must constantly, you need to get your people also to look at it again and again and again and again. Okay, number two. First one, I talk about finance. Second one is marketing. See, marketing is very, very, very important. Today we are talking about digital marketing, am I right?
Yeah.
How many of us, old people like us, know about digital marketing? Some people even Facebook today don't have. Now Twitters. I don't know what's going to come soon. But one thing you must remember, if you don't know, employ people who know. Agree? If you don't know finance, don't know accounts, get a proper accountant. In Malaysia, most of the people want to save a few hundred ringgit or a few thousand ringgit, and they don't employ experts in their field. Let me tell you about Genting Island. Do you know this Genting Island in Malaysia?
Yes.
Yeah. And Genting Island boss, Lim Gotong, the old man, who don't know English very much. He don't know at all English. He knows a little bit of Malay, but he only knows Chinese. He built Genting Islands. Now, some of us think that we go to the university, we have an MBA, we know everything. But they become very arrogant. I have interviewed hundreds of them. The MBAs become very arrogant. They come there, they know everything. But actually they don't know anything. Why I am telling you this, even some of you probably have taken an MBA, but it's good as knowledge. But after 6 months, you would have forgotten everything. Yes? Yes? Anybody? You forgot. And very fresh. When they come to work, actually they don't know anything. Let me talk about myself. I am an accountant. I studied accountancy. When I went to work, I don't know anything. The clerks will push me here and there. I need to learn. Correct? Okay. Now, let me talk about the second part of it, which is marketing. See, marketing very, very important. And not only marketing is very important, traditional marketing may not work. Number two, you must have customer service. Customer service, very, very important. Are we paying attention to customer service? Next. Sure. I'm sure very experienced people will tell me that I'm definitely. Next is, what about HR, human resource? Very, very important today. My time, when I went to work, HR, the word HR was not there. I went to work in the 70s. My first work in the 70s was 1972. That time, factories, you know what they say? When they want to recruit people, hands, H-A-N-D-S, so many hands we need. That is why, some of you went to Malaysia, they know kaki tangan. Kaki dan tangan. Kaki means legs and hand. That's what they want. They don't want this one. Now, training came through what? Industrial Revolution. I think before that there was no training, nothing. Industrial Revolution came by, and then people were trained to go and do the work, but no need to think, right? That was one time. Then came, we need every individuals to be creative. Today we need people to be creative, right? Our workers must be creative, innovative, must think out of the box, must be ahead. Because the boss alone cannot think, you must allow. Therefore, an entrepreneur is a person who inspires people. No need to do really work. All you need to go and talk to the people, hey, come on, are you doing? Are you doing? How many of you know at least this name called Warren Buffett? Warren Buffett, I think many of you know Warren Buffett.
Yes.
Do you know Warren Buffett, he will go first around 31st like that, he will call all the managers and then tell them, this is what I want. Can you give me? What do you want? What do you want? I need this. That means this profit, these are the indicators. He will say, I want it, that's all. Now, what do you want me to give you? And then he will go away, He will come back the end of the year, and then you see whether. Now, if you didn't achieve the indicators, you are gone. You are finished. Now, actually, if you are a good manager, you don't have to do a lot of work. You can manage 10, 20 companies without problem. If you have the right people, am I right or not? You need right people to run, right? Okay. How many of you read this book, Good to Great, by Jim Collins? Jim Collins. Can you please? Where are you? Can you show the book? Jim Collins is a great author. Not only great author, he's a researcher. He normally researches at least 5-6 years with 7-8 people, working for 5 years. After that, he comes out with his books. Now, Build to Last is his first book, Build to Last. That means you build a company that can last. The other one, Good to Great. How good companies became great companies. Then he talked about great by choice. That means build a great company is your choice. Now, you entrepreneurs here, I'm sure you want your company to last, am I right or not? What must I do now so that my company can continue to contribute to the nation, to the country? Now, let me tell you, when we die, we are not going to take everything back up there. Correct or not?
Yes.
Somebody asked the other one person, he said, I leave everything back. So, now, what we need to do is, entrepreneur must think beyond the self so that I can contribute to my nation, my people. Now, let me tell you, Bangladeshis are very intelligent people. In my country, although the Bangladeshi big major group are labor group, but very fast there are some of them become businessmen there itself. They marry a local and they become they become businessmen. You know, many of these Chinese people employ Bangladeshi to run the whole business they stay at home. It's happening. So I said, I was addressing a group of people, and most of the Bangladesh educated group want a job. Yes? Most of them want a job. I said, hey, why don't you create a job? What is so difficult? The mindset is looking for a job. Right? Okay, I think a number of areas where entrepreneurs lacking is, as I said, finance, knowledge, marketing, HR, human resource. That means how to have succession planning. You think about succession planning? Many of you who have companies running and you want your son or daughter to take over, have you adequately prepared? Now, I have come out with something, and I was talking to Chandan Sarkar. We are trying to create an entrepreneurship program, 18 months entrepreneurship program, whereby, let me tell you this, very practical. Entrepreneurship program must be practical. How practical it should be? When in this program, the student comes in, day one, will actually set up a company. That means he or she must form a company and start doing business straight away. But they only come and attend lectures on weekends and evenings. That means they are working and at the same time applying this knowledge into business. Very different. Now, I've seen many MBAs come back, nothing. Now, knowledge does not do anything. You must take this knowledge and put it into practice, Then only it makes sense. Otherwise, it is useless. So, managing people is an art. You cannot manage others until you manage yourself, right? This must change, my friend. You must be a human being. Do you know leadership cannot be taught, but leadership can be learned. Leadership is to inspire people. Right? Okay. So, what I'm going to talk about is, there's a lot of things I can talk, but then, let me check the time now. It's already going to be 4. Alright, I got only 1 hour, another 1+ hours. Okay, let's do some activity, can we?
Yeah.
Alright, now, what do you think is important? Where's the question? Some discussion question. No. Yes. What kind of a person you think will become successful in business? What kind of people you think? Now I want somebody to write on the board. Can somebody volunteer to write? Anybody wanted to write here on the board? Yeah, please. Okay, I want feedback from you. You all are business people. You all are businessmen and women. Now, what are the qualities you think is important? Risk taker. Okay, next.
Work-life balance.
Work-life balance. Okay. Work-life balance. Motivate. That means a person must be continuously motivated. Yes, motivated. Oh, there is taking. Already there. Be motivated. Someone. Planning. Very important. Planner. Good planner. Okay. Must have smart objectives. Good planner. Smart objectives. Someone. Team player. Can I say team player? Yes, team player. You put one line because not enough. Okay.
Leadership with the SWOT analysis quality.
Okay. Therefore, constantly, can I say learner constantly learning? Constantly learning. That means a good entrepreneur is a person who continuously learning. Right? Okay, leadership. Leadership. Learner. The person must be a learner. Someone? Monitoring. Self-starter. Okay. Self-starter. First we'll take self-starter.
Marketing.
Very good. Okay. Can I say, devotion? Can I say committed? Committed. Highly committed person? Commitment, yes. Okay. Anybody else give some feedback? What do you think are some of these qualities that make a person a good businessman? Growth oriented. He's a growth oriented. Can I say far-sighted? Can I say a visionary? Visionary. A visionary. Business planning, all right. He's a good planner. I think they're already there. Almost there. Some few more.
Self-analysis.
Self-analysis is a, yeah, we already talked about self-starter. Okay, some more.
Can we say lessons from corrective actions? Lessons from corrective actions.
That means, can you say learner? I think it comes on the learner. Do you think you need a person who is honest? Sincerity, honesty, sincerity, hard worker, innovative, passion, very good, passion. Must be passionate about whatever you do. Do you think a person must have patience?
Delegation of responsibility and also with the authority.
Okay. Delegation of authority. Yeah? Delegation. You just said that. Responsible.
Responsibility supported by authority. We give the
Responsibility.
but
Yes.
we don't give the authority.
Exactly.
That is the big problem.
Correct. Yes. Therefore, actually we must, if we do not know, if it is not working, we must now find out how it works. Innovative. Yes, innovative. Very innovative, creative, strategist, devotional. He's very devoted. Okay, I think. Yeah, correct.
And another one is finally using money.
Then
Get the license.
greasing.
Ambition.
Greasing.
Another is ambition.
Ambitious for the company. Ambitious, very ambitious. Okay, I think more or less this is good enough.
What is knowledge also, sir? You knowledge.
In the
Yes.
business I do, I must know what is that.
Very good, very important point. That we must have knowledge. All right, now. What Howard University, you know Howard University and Carnegie Foundation got together, they did a research. They asked a lot of questions, they spent millions of dollars to find out what makes a person successful. What makes a person successful? I'm going to use this quick chart. Success. And they did research in many areas, commitment, all these, and finally they put all those areas under two categories. And it is, first, number one, you need to have skills. Agree?
Yes.
Definitely you must have skills. Plus, right? Now I think I better write up there because this is not long. Success is equals to skills plus right mental attitude.
Can I tell one? Success is who have the able to access all over the place and be in success.
Yes, correct. Yes. True. All this taken, this research is actually research by Harvard University, and they say success here means, I'm talking about success entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur, or successful businessman, or successful mother, successful father. on that category, the success came about, and they said they require skills. Now, now let's talk about what skills we are talking about. Language skills, right? Communication skills, right? Marketing skills, yes. Financial skills, analytical skills. You must know. See, as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, you must know. You cannot run away from that. Okay? Now, number 2, right mental attitude. Not just mental attitude. This is what we call our character. All comes under this. Now, how much of this plus how much of this make up success? Let us say this is 100%. This is called how much, and this is called how much. I just want the feedback.
All 50-50.
50-50. Okay, 50-50. Some say 50-50. Anybody else different?
I am different.
Attitude is very important. Only the attitude.
100%. All bigger no.
Successful is 100.
Success is 100%.
Left and right.
But you need, they are all important. What I'm saying is,
Maybe it is 99%.
Which is 99?
If somebody has many skills, if he has negative attitude, then it will be 0.
Okay.
Positive attitude is the right thing.
99.
Which
Right?
one? Which one?
Because it will be multiplied by attitude. And
Yes.
if you have many degrees and qualification, if you have multiplied by 0, negative, then it will be totally 0.
I agree with you. Totally, completely. Therefore, okay, what someone says 50-50, some maybe 30-40, I don't know, whatever it is. But actually, the study says this is 15% and this is 85%, my dear friends.
Skills can be attained.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know, you can learn skills.
Exactly. But
You
this
can
one,
have the right attitude. If you don't have it, you have to.
you don't have it, don't have it.
You don't have it. You can't change that.
But attitude cannot be taught, right?
Yes, always.
Cannot be taught, but it can be learned. Now, most of the people who succeeded, they say, now, where you learn? In schools, colleges. We learn skill, am I right?
Yes.
Mathematics skills, language skills, we learn skills. But do we learn this area? Honesty. You said here what? Honesty, responsibility, be a learner, be self-motivated.
This comes from the background all over everything mixed balance.
Exactly.
Environment.
Environment from your father or your mother. Very good. Comes from the family. Comes from background. What background?
And institutions, education institutions, where you start.
Yes, ecosystem. Correct. Agree. Now, let me give one example of my own personal example. My father and mother are not educated, meaning they didn't go to school. But what is the meaning of education? Can you tell me what's the meaning of education? Can anybody?
Broaden
Right.
the horizon.
Huh?
Broaden the horizon. Education is somewhere you
Lose how to use your common sense.
Common sense. Okay? Anybody else? Try. You see, very often we know this word and yet we don't know the real meaning. Education comes from the word educare. Latin word. Sometimes we need to go deep into the word. Education comes from the word Latin word educare, meaning pull out or draw out. See, many of us think that education is going to schools, colleges, and universities, getting a degree, more educated. Wrong. My father and mother were not educated, but one day, but of course he sent me to the best schools and all that, became an accountant, it's because of them. But he told me one thing very powerful. One day when I finished my education in my area, I was going to Kuala Lumpur to the university, and my father said something very powerful. He actually made me do something. He said, go in front of the house, go and put your hand into the earth and take as much earth as possible. That is equivalent to what you know. What you don't know is as big as the universe. Wow. At that time I didn't realize. But when I started doing work, then I realized that I don't know a lot of things. We all don't know everything. But we know probably in the area that we are good at, that we may know. If I'm an accountant and I know about finance very well, that's okay. But I may not know about engineering. There are many things I don't know. So one of the things that we must admit first is that I don't know. If you admit and say, I don't know, then only learning starts. It doesn't matter what age you are in. Even today I'm learning. Every day I spend about 1-2 hours doing research on the area that I'm good at, or on the area that I want to. My habit is, any area I go into, I will go deep into that area. See, one of the things I tell people is this. Whatever work you do, you must do your very best. Best in the world. Any work you do, even sweeping the floor, you must do your very best. Why? Because if you do not do well, it will affect your self-image. It's a science behind. I cannot tell you right now because it will take another half a day for me to set how the mind works, why I'm saying this is another topic, maybe another day. But I'm saying, if you do not do your very best in whatever that you are doing, you are injuring yourself. Wow, this is very, very powerful. People don't know. People say that you pay me more, I will do more. Wrong. If you do your very best, and many people say do this. You know what this is? In Malaysia it's very common. You butter your boss and then you get promotion.
Not only in Malaysia, all over the world.
All over the world, people say that.
Yes.
People say, now that is why they say that, but actually, if you are the boss, let me ask you the same question. You are the boss, and you got two people, one you doing this, another person is a good worker, but he doesn't really.
Yes.
Who will you promote?
The violin people.
This is your own business, not somebody else's business. Person who's capable, who can do the work, who is a specialist, the other person doesn't butter.
It's a government office, then public one. And it's a private office, this is a worker.
Entrepreneur. They're talking about
No, sir.
entrepreneurs.
If you do butter,
Correct.
you do nothing.
Huh?
If you do not make anyone violin pursue, without violin, you can achieve nothing actually. All over the world, in private sector or in government sector in Bangladesh, in every step of life, you have to do something, violin, pursue anything.
Actually, the thing we learned from heritage because of the
And it's a powerful
British rule.
tools, violin.
British
It's a
rule
powerful.
make it divide and rule. So we do it everything everywhere in a business.
Sometimes they are unconsciously. But the point I'm making is, now you as a boss, as a businessman, big business running, will you promote a person who is doing that, or will you promote a person who? Now, next question is, being nice to your boss, what's wrong? Being nice with your boss, what is wrong? Okay, why don't you take your boss as your father? What's wrong with that?
But boss must know who is the best for his company.
And then, you see, again, a subordinate have a different idea, but you go, don't shout at your boss, but you have to go and talk to him nicely, am I right or not? What you say is important as how you say it. A lot of people think that being arrogant doesn't carry you anywhere. So, all this, what we are talking about, is this, am I right or not? Risk taker. Risk taker, is it a skill or is it is an attitude? More attitude. Sometimes skill and attitude is combined. Okay, work-life balance. Work-life balance. Is attitude, am I right or not? Now, next, motivator. Okay. Planner, of course, you need to have skills and also attitude. Now, what about smart objective? Skill also got, attitude also got. Okay, team player. Both. Leadership. More. I'm saying more. More attitude. Learner. Attitude. Self-starter. Okay, marketing, of course, you need the skill as well. What about committed? What about visionary? What about honesty? What about passion? What about responsibility? What about innovation? Yes, both.
So 85%.
Strategic. Skill. This one is what? Devoted. Definitely. Ambition. Knowledge. Of course, knowledge. Both. Okay. So from here, do you need to go to Harvard University to find out? Okay. Let me give an example. I did a program about 2-3 weeks ago to Johor government, Malaysia, Johor, some of you know where Johor is. Johor government, the new government, the HR, human resource minister, state minister, called me to give a 2-day workshop on entrepreneurship. So I got all of them and asked them to come out with the list. Where's the list come out? Johor Bahru entrepreneur feedback. Next. This is what they said. List down the causes of success as an entrepreneur. They said having a defined purpose. Next, constantly seeking knowledge. Define, not decline. Define. Now, constantly seeking knowledge. Next, high perseverance. Confidence. Consistency. Clear vision and mission. Okay, what is a vision? What is a vision? Vision is the picture of the future that you want to create. Now, mission is the purpose. You must know your purpose. Life's purpose. What's your life purpose? Why are you here? Very important. Next is take charge of situations. High self-discipline. Discipline, very important. Next, punctuality. Now, it says continuous learning and improvement. You already said that. Relationship builder. Highly committed. Provides excellent service. Robust team work. Good time management. Open to new ideas. Eye for opportunities. Self-improvement. Honesty. All these, when you take into account, is more of what? More of attitude, right? So now, we as an entrepreneur, what must we do? We must help people improve on that. That is the most difficult. Am I right? So now, we can do this by making your people realize. You see, the formula for this is called realization. Realization. You cannot give a book and ask them to read and they become committed. Agree or not? Do you know that sometime in our life, something happens and suddenly we go, change its place. Am I right or not?
there.
Mm. Come again, the
Mental attitude, I have a mental attitude, okay, all these things, yeah. But then it must come with skillness.
exactly, this is what the gentleman is saying. Yes, you said that correct. But once you have this, you sure will develop it. Sure develop it. So this is paramount. So as entrepreneurs, we must help and develop our staff to think differently. You must treat the people under you as your children. Now, again and again, if you got the time to go and read this book by this Jim Collins, he says again and again and again, how can I help? Now, remember, the people under you are your children. Think about that. Treat them like that. You must